Welcome to another episode of Zelda Four Swords Adventures. My name is Red. Last time, we made our way through the Cave of No Return, thus turning into it the not Cave of No Return. And then now we are here at the final stage of Level 1, Whereabouts of the Wind, Hyrule Castle. So let's get right into it. On our way to rescue our first Maiden. Okay, here we go. Cut the grass, get the things. I'm waiting, I'm waiting for the owl up here. Oh, we got Archer Knights. Link, there's a terrible fiend in Hyrule Castle. He's leeching power from the maidens little by little. Listen well, Link. To rescue the maidens, you must face the fiercest of foes. Keep your wits about you and be wary. Indeed. Guys, the way it kind of mesh, the way some of the visuals mesh together on this is actually really nice. One thing I definitely did not mention is the fact that, despite everything being 2D in here, it actually mixes up visuals of both 2D and 3D. Actually, when you look back at the when the maidens and Zelda were being kidnapped, that was actually more a 3D effect than it was two-dimensional, at least by the looks of it. But you'll actually see more clearly after this. Well, even right here when the bomb goes off, yeah, it's got the Wind Waker visual effect, so it looks like it really doesn't fit, but for some reason it actually just kind of works. So that's kind of one of the interesting things about this, is how it kind of puts it all together while still being a two-dimensional game. That's right. I think there's nothing under this. Yep. Alright, look out. Okay, and as we move through this, I'm going to take the time to talk about the original Four Swords and how it's different from this. So, the original Four Swords, Zelda Four Swords, it was bundled with Zelda A Link to the Past, the port on the Game Boy Advance. Funny enough, that's where, like I mentioned last episode, where I got introduced to A Link to the Past, not realizing it first released on the Super Nintendo. And I'd always wanted to do the Four Swords game, but I was never able to because nobody else ever had the game. I had plenty of the friends I had at the time. You were all gamers. A lot of us were all gamers. It's just we all weren't necessarily playing a lot of the same ones, or they just weren't into some of the same ones I were. Right over here. So, Zelda Four Swords. The way it's different from that. So, obviously, multiplayer. It was multiplayer only, and you needed at least 2 people in order to play through it. And of course, something like that would truly shine having 4 people, of course. And so with that one, it consisted of the story, it's pretty minimal, not too different from this one. But what goes on, you have 4 areas to work through in the game, and it's all co-op based. All of it's built around that, being the first multiplayer Zelda game. Nope, soldiers here. There we go. And so you had to work your way through the 4 areas. They were kind of gimmicks too, so obviously a lot of the puzzles in combat is going to be, as you can already suspect, is very much built around the idea of co-op and Four Swords, and having multiple players. Oh god, I'm dying. So, in that, you had to work your way through the levels, and at the end of each level, you had to fight a boss. At the same time, when you win, each dungeon consisted of 2 floors. I almost forgot about that part. They're all randomly generated dungeons, too, so it was a different experience each time. And that game also had a replay value to it. But, so you get to the end, you beat the boss, you meet a great fairy, and you had to give them rupees. Depending on how many, you didn't make sure you have enough. When you have enough, you get a key. You have to collect those keys because they give you access to more in, the final area of Vadi's Palace of Winds. Granted, I only ever played it a little bit because it was re-released, but after that, you beat the game, you're done. You also get these little things called, I think they were Medals of Courage. And so, there was actually a lot of beneficial reason to play Four Swords because you could unlock additional content for A Link to the Past. And I think you actually had to play through it multiple times in order to actually unlock everything. Because you could actually play it through it up to, from what I had done in my research, what I had seen, you wanted to play through it at least 3 times. Because each time you would get new keys, there's a set of 3 keys, you get new keys, the stages would actually get harder, and the way some of the encounters in some of the later parts of the game would actually change. So overall, it's definitely had a replay value to it, but you would unlock an additional area in Link to the Past known as the Palace of the Four Sword. And I remember seeing this because I had the strategy guide for it. And I remember looking at that and wanting to play it so badly, but I never did unlock any of it, so it's unfortunate. So yeah, it's But overall, it had all the same gimmicks and things to it. You had sub-items in each level, your co-op based puzzles and combat, like the boss gimmicks, everything. The only difference with this is that this is more expanded. And of course, it's on a home console. It's has a single player. You can do single player with it. It's not always required. It doesn't have to. It's not required to be multiplayer. And then the story's nothing special. Like really nothing. Yeah, it's really nothing special about the story. Plus, oh, I want to go get that. Plus, to me, I feel like it's also probably the better experience, just because of how much it has, like, with it. But yeah, it's also more static level designs. Yeah. So very similar, but also very different in their own way. And this also kind of just updates on the visuals that the original Four Swords had, plus also Minish Cap, because they all borrow like basically the same art style or art direction. It's just those games are on handheld devices in 2D versus this being on a home console. So yeah, visuals can be a bit different. But yeah, that's kind of the thing between Four Swords and this one. It's very similar, but different in their own ways. But each one will kind of give you a similar, if not the same experience. It just comes down to how you decide to view it. Versus one having randomly generated dungeons, this having static level design with, yeah, that's a little more story-driven, I almost want to say. But not bad. The thing is, Zelda 4 Swords actually re-released on the 3DS as part of the 25th anniversary of the series, so that's actually when I picked it up and played it a little bit. Never did finish. That's something I should actually do. It just gives you control of 2 links by yourself. But yeah, the big thing here too with Four Swords Adventures that you can see there between the Game Boy screen that shows up, I threw the bomb out the door. These worlds are like what you see on the Game Boy screen that shows you what's inside. The worlds are like still very connected. So whatever you see, whatever you do on the Game Boy screen can still affect anything happening. Oh, whoops! Outside of here, what you can say is in the overworld versus what's happening on the Game Boy screen. So that's definitely an amazing feature to see. So it just shows how much everything is connected versus it just being, okay, now we're on a completely different screen. In most Zelda games, like before this, the bomb would have just stopped right at the threshold of the door. Alright, right here at the cannon. Then we get a key. But yep, that's just what I wanted to kind of say about Four Swords. Definitely not an expert on it, but I know a little bit. Alright. I'll take the key, we'll go inside and go up the door, and completely forgot to mention that the castle design here is actually very much based on Zelda: Link to the Past. Although it's not completely the same, it has some, like, of its own little design to it, like, differences in design. Alright. Oh, cross spin attack. It's also, yeah, it's amazing to see, like when you do cross, when you do the spin attack, it actually spins around an actual circle itself. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, we got the ball and chain knight. Ooh, that did damage. Okay. Bombs incoming! So, okay, don't blow myself up, good lord. Going wild! Stabbing everything! That's what Link lives for! Stab all the things. Man, if only I didn't get hit, I would have had a very large number there. Okay! Alright. Get all the goodies. There's actually a few hidden in here. Actually, wonder how many people knew about that. Yeah, look, right there. Now I'm at 2,000. I'm only, what, like halfway through the stage at this point? Yeah. Some stages are very generous with the number of force gems it will give you, and others... Like I said, technically everyone is. Like I said before, everyone, you don't need to worry about, Oh, God. Oh, does that not work? Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, I gotta come back up. I want to get Shadow Link if I can. Nope, don't want to do that. Oh, wrong color. Okay, yeah, Shadow Link just gets away. Alright. But yeah, with each level, yeah, you're not gonna run out of force gems. At worst, what happens, you have to go back and just get through enough. Then you get, and I believe you get enough. I think it will take you right back to the end of the stage. It's actually been a while. I know I had that happen before. I don't remember what it did exactly. All right, like right here. Now I had to leave one link outside because that switch will open up the panel overhead. Now I can actually see here in the dark. Wrong button. There we go. Go in the door. And right in here, Zora. Who is it? Who's there? You're not with those fiends who have taken over the castle, are you? Please, would you help me? I heard the maiden's cries and came running to find the castle a nest of fiends. They captured me and split me in two. That's why I look so horrible right now. Please, I beg of you, reunite my two halves. Make me whole again. Alright, we're gonna do just that. I thought for sure I'd be able to select a link outside of this and then just teleport right back out, but I guess not. I can just do this though. Just like that. Definitely a handy feature to have when you're playing single player, otherwise you have to wait for everybody to get to the same screen. Okay, yeah, we gotta wait for the hammer. Ah, God. Hammer. Hammer again. Apparently it's hammer time. Oh, I'm not on it properly. There we go. Now we gotta pull the switch out. Pull the lever. Now we're gonna go right in here. Also, another fun thing about the Four Swords too, it's not canon, but the Zelda, there's actually official manga for the Zelda series that's been done. I actually have the whole collection of all of them. And one of them actually includes a series for Four Swords. In the Four Swords, a lot of the plot for that legacy has body and everything, but a lot of the plot is also, you see the links like learning to work together or having a hard time like working together and learning to do that. And the one thing they actually present in that you don't see in this, of course, because it was a much different time, but each link has a different personality to it. Green being focused and motivated, red is innocent and optimistic, blue is kind of hot-headed and aggressive, and purple is the calm, cool, collected one. Yeah, I actually, since I read it myself, I can really attest to that. God, I cannot speak today. Might be a sign I've been doing this too long already. But it's just something nice to see, because it's all obviously it's Link split in four, and you have all the different parts of him, like that make up his personality. So it really is nice to see. But alright, we got both halves of the Zora. I don't know if they just use this to represent that, or if it's actually supposed to be a Zora, but when the two become one, two Zoras make a fairy. And it's the same fairy, so you actually have the River Zora. Oh god, I was playing Echoes of Wisdom, so yeah, River Zora. The original Zora designs from some of the previous Zeldas, like Link to the Past, and now you have the Great Fairy from, or one of the fairies from Wind Waker. I didn't think I would ever be allowed to reclaim my true form as a Great Fairy. Okay, it is Great Fairy in this, because I remember the Great Fairies in Wind Waker were much taller, much different. Then you had the smaller one here, too. Thank you so much, brave ones. It's go time! Uh-oh. It looks like those soldiers have noticed us. I'll take care of this. I'm gonna spin to win! And unleash Armageddon with my space laser. She almost summoned a spirit bomb. But so this is the magical barrier that barred your way. Allow me to take care of this. I'll let all my friends throughout Hyrule know. If you run into four travelers with one face, tend to their weariness and ease the burden of their travels. There is a tradition that young noble gentlemen rescue damsels in distress, and so, I leave the well-being of the maidens in your hands. Take care. Now she's gone. So I was talking about the Great Fairies earlier. The other designs from Wind Waker are in this one too. They just serve a different purpose throughout the game, which we will get into in the next world. See, what is it? Yeah, I wanted to go... Yeah, that's right, because I wanted to go this way. Oh, yeah, okay, there's a goodie, yep. Okay, yeah, right here is kind of a prime example where, like, being in single player, kind of a pain. Because you have to come out here. Okay, yeah. Oh. Okay, never mind, okay. I wonder if it... Okay, I guess it does work like that, where if you were in multiplayer, it'd be easier because you could just split up and work your way over there, like, simultaneously. And this one, you have to do it, like, separately. Although it's not the worst thing because it's pretty short to get out there. But still, it's like, man, just a tad annoying. Okay, I am not worried about force gems at this point. They serve me no purpose. Since I am on single player. Alright, here we go. Alright, shut gate. Oh, whoops. This is where having the fire rod would really come in handy. Alright, form a line. Who wants to die? They all wanted to die. There we go, hearts. We'll head right on in. Okay, we got 4 gems up there. I'll go ahead and grab them anyway, I guess. I don't know. Well, I guess I had to anyway because I gotta go those ways. Treasure. What is it? Okay, another force gem. Yeah, seriously though, I do love how this game looks. It is probably one of my favorite designs I've seen for the 2D Zeldas. Okay, I can't go out there. I had to go up top because there's a hole. On the overworld, we can jump down there. And also, I completely forgot to talk about... Oh my god, that's right. These come to life. The dynamic camera. It actually... The camera is not static and in place like it... At the same height like it was in previous Zelda games. Well, other 2D Zelda games. At least like not like Link to the Past and the Oracle games and Wind Waker, where obviously those were on handle, so it's different. But the camera will actually zoom in and out if you like at will. Let's see if I can demonstrate it. After we move this big ass throne for the big ass king. Alright, we'll go right inside. Work our way up to the top and see if I can demonstrate that with the camera. I am not concerned about that. I have enough. When you're in there and you press B if you're started, you can come back down. See if I... Okay, maybe it won't do it because the way this map is laid out, but maybe in the next one. But yeah, the camera will zoom in and out, so it'll you can actually willingly let it zoom out. I think when you hold down the B button, and then it will actually zoom out so you can see everything. But right here, Phantom Ganon, specifically the design from Wind Waker, and we get to play tennis. So right here, the whole gimmick. Oh god, whole gimmick with this boss. Yep, you play tennis with them. You gotta hit the orb back and forth till it stuns and you just go up and you hit him. So it's the way the Ganon fight has been in like every game. Oh god, I'm doing terribly. Just don't get too close or it takes a swing, but visually you can see this character, like it's not two-dimensional, it's more 3D, but while looking flat. And visually, like it seems like it doesn't fit, like I mentioned before, like with the bomb effects, but it seems like it kind of doesn't fit, but it works. So it actually is kind of a cool feature to see how they combine this. Alright, get him, boys! Stab him. Look out. Yeah, that's the way it's gonna go. If you were in multiplayer, the color of the orb changes to match each of the links, so you actually had to work together in order to stun him. And it's actually, a fight like this is actually much harder. Like when you have 4 separate people having to work together versus just being in control of one, so... Just another example of the single player versus multiplayer experience. Granted, that all comes down to who you're playing with too, but I will say later on, we'll have another fight just like this, and it's gonna be much worse. Okay, there we go. This should do it. There we go. And dies in an explosion of Wind Waker. Alright. 300, 100, and a bunch more. And with that, the boss of Area 1, Level 1, Whereabouts of the Wind is defeated. Now we can go rescue the Maiden. Well, let's dispel this here bear. Okay, I can walk under those. Yeah, like this visual effect right here looks 3D. Yeah, that's definitely 3D. Like, it just looks flat. Really a weird effect. Alright, the first Maiden. Where am I? The darkness. It's gone. I have been freed, haven't I? Link, what's happened to you? Oh, the Fourth Sword. You've drawn the Mystic Blade. That means Vati is free once more, does it? Does it not? And you've taken up the mantle fate has given you. How brave. I don't know, I feel like this could have been avoided. Such determination speaks well of you. You are truly a great hero. Oh. Oh! There's something you must know. That dark shadow that captured us. It looked just like you. What was it? Link, you must save the princess and the remaining maidens. I think I can speed up the text. I should try doing that. And she slowly floats to the ground and opens her eyes. Travel by sea under my protection to a place called the Eastern Temple. Another of my kidnapped sisters is imprisoned there. Allow me to transform that I might serve as your guide. Come, we must go. A blue fairy. And on the status screen updates, you can see the sword when it's powered up. And other things we collect like our lives. You can see how many maidens you have, and of course... That's right, yep, you can hold down, if you need to, you can hold down the Y button to select yeah. Okay, so this is, oh my god. Get in the portals. We're done here. I'm learning things I forgot about again. Alright. Level 1, Whereabouts of the Wind is done, and now we head into level 2, Eastern Hyrule. And funny enough, we're actually coming up on what is probably one of my favorite stages. Not quite yet, but the next one after the first one. It's kind of an odd one. I'm sure for those of you watching might think who have played this, if you have, I think it's probably weird that I do like it, but I just do. This because of how different it is. I mean, this whole game is different. That's why I love it so much. Specifically because it has multiplayer, but... Alright. And well, with level 1 done, we've rescued the first maiden, and now we have made our way into level 2 Eastern Hyrule. But we're going to save that for the next episode. So next time on Zelda Four Swords Adventures, we head into the first area of level 2, the coast. See you all then.